Hello again. We're going to work with contracts now. So we have created a new employee called Rajesh. We're going to create a 1-year contract for Rajesh for the position cutting specialist. So we can go to contracts either through here or through this button at the top of the employee sheet. So this is actually a shortcut because it's going to pull the employee details, and once it's loaded we can just go ahead and create a new contract. So for each employee you have several contracts that will that you have to renew every year or every 3 years, depends on the contract terms. So we're gonna go and create one here. We're gonna add the reference number and make the reference number that is relevant, so 2015 XYZ, and can put Rajesh, his name, in it. And then we can go with job title. His job title is cutting specs, and the type of the contract. So the type here is employee. We have other types as workers, subcontractors, etc. You can create your own. So the contract type, but only an indicator of the type of the contract. At the bottom here it tells you the details about this specific contract. So we're going to start with the salary and advantages. So the wage is your basic salary, it's the basic salary for the employee, so we're going to have 2,500. And then you pick up the salary structure. The salary structure is very important. Why? Because it helps us generate pay slips for each employee. So to see what the expat, for example, salary structure is, you can go ahead and directly click on this button, and it tells you that the expat can consist of basic, gross, net commission, transportation, housing, overtime, bonus, and deduction. And each one of these has its own rule in the pay slip module, which we'll go to in a further detail later on. So I'm not going to talk about the pay slip now. So we're going to move on to the housing. We can determine the housing for this. So we can say that the housing is simply 25%. So let's say, for the sake of argument, it's 250. Actually, let's say 500. And the hourly rate is let's say it is 14. Transportation is 150. And the duration here, it indicates the duration of this contract. So we can start with the trial period if this guy is not in trial period, so we can start directly from the boarding time. So we can start, let's say, from the 1st of Jan until the end of the year. So by December 31st is the end of the year. So that's the duration of this contract. When this contract is over, you have to either renew the contract or dismiss the employee. The work schedule, you can create work schedule, let's say from Monday to Friday, and the schedule pay is monthly. Here you can say monthly, weekly, it depends on the type of the contract. And here you can write any advantages that the customer that the employee will have. For example, commission, one basic salary every 5 years, and that's all. This related to the information for the contract. There's also more details here. You have the work permit. Work permit consists of the visa number, so we add the visa number for the employee, and when does this visa expires. So let's say that the visa expires in two years, and the work permit number is something else that you can add to the contract. So when you're done with this, you can just click save, and you will have a contract for Rajesh. So after a few years, you will have multiple contracts for Rajesh, and it tells you here that contract reference and the name of the employee, the type of contract, the job title, and start and end of contract. So that's all for contracts here. Thank you for listening.